Hi, welcome. I'm Kim Shapira, and I'm so excited to talk to you today about protein. So, I don't even know where to begin. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Um, okay, so we have what's called micronutrients and macronutrients. Protein is a macronutrient, which means we need a lot of it. And I think that in the news right now, people are hearing the word a lot or more, and it's confusing people. So the recommendations are about 30% of our diet should be coming from protein. Now, there are many types of protein. There is protein found in vegetables, protein found in starches, protein found in beans and legumes, proteins found in milk products like, cow's milk or yogurt. And then there are proteins that come from animal sources. We need our entire diet to come from a variety of those food groups. So it doesn't just mean animal sources, and it doesn't just mean like raw protein, not raw, but protein in general. So that means you're actually getting protein in foods you didn't know you were getting it in, which means we need to change the focus from high protein to just balance, back to balance. Most people need zero point 0.8 grams per kilogram based on their ideal body weight. Okay, so how do we figure out ideal body weight? You look at somebody who is 5 feet tall and then you give them 100 pounds plus or minus 10%. So somebody who is 5 feet can be 100 pounds or 90 to 110. That gives them their ideal body weight. And then, of course, we want to throw in body fat percentage. And we know that our goal is really to make sure that our body fat is under 24%. This makes us metabolically active, and this makes it much easier for us to get off medications or to maintain our weight once we have reached our ideal body weight. Okay. So for every inch over your ideal body weight, it's worth 5 pounds. And that's going to be because of bone and blood and muscle. And so if somebody is 5'2", then their ideal body weight becomes 110 plus or minus 10%, giving you 100 to 120 pounds as ideal. And then it goes up, okay? And so when we're figuring out how much our physical bodies need of protein, it's zero point 0.8 grams per kilogram. So I have a calculator right here. Let's say I am 5'4", meaning that my ideal body weight would be 120 plus or minus 10%. So let's say 132. So 132 into kilograms is about 60. And then you multiply that times zero point 0.8. Now, that gives you about 4850 grams of protein that needs to come from a variety of foods so we don't become deficient just because we're concentrating on protein. Now, as we're losing weight, and if we're depending on what stage of our life, right? Like if we're pregnant, if we're growing, if we're looking to maintain our muscle mass, if we would like to put on muscle, then we can push that zero point 0.8 to maybe about 1 gram per kilogram. So that again, that person would only need about 60 grams. Now, here's the thing to remember, and please, ask me in the chat if I'm going too fast or DM me. An ounce of chicken, an ounce of steak, an ounce of fish, they all actually have 7 grams of protein per ounce. So if a person needs 60 and it needs to come from a variety of food, then it's really not that hard to get, right? So 7 ounces of protein is giving you 42 grams. Then if you're drinking milk and you're eating 4 or 5 servings of vegetables in a day and you're having 3, 4, or 5 servings of starches to get all of the, variety of vitamins and minerals you need to maintain your health, then you're actually exceeding that number. And what happens when we eat and we're not hungry? Well, our body thinks that we're trying to save it or store it, and then it gets converted to fat. And so, what is protein even necessary for? It's important for DNA. It's important for cellular health. It's important for muscle mass. It's important for our bloodstream, healthy blood, right? We get iron from protein, and this is how we really have oxygen to do things. So if we didn't have protein, then we would start seeing problems with obviously muscle loss. We would see problems with bone loss. We would start seeing problems with our balance and blood sugar balance, things like that. So it's important to have. But this idea that we need high could be causing a little bit of a diet culture mentality. So again, I would love it to bring back balance. Okay, so all veggies, just like every single ounce of animal protein. So whether it's an egg, cottage cheese, chicken breast, piece of fish, red meat, or bacon, every single ounce has 7 grams of protein per single ounce. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Whether it's salmon or halibut, chicken thigh, chicken breast. The things that change are the fat connect, like the if it's saturated fat, that changes, making it more calorically dense or, heart unhealthy. When you're looking at veggies, every single veggie, no matter what it is, for 1/2 cup cooked or 1 cup raw, because 1 cup raw cooked is a half a cup, is 2 grams of protein. For every single starch, rice, potatoes, quinoa, pasta, sourdough bread, 3 grams of protein per serving. And for every single glass of milk, you're getting about 8 grams of protein per glass. And yogurt can be anywhere between 8 and 12 grams of protein per 1 cup. Okay, so it says, did I say each ounce of fish or chicken is about 7 grams? I did say that, yes. All right, so the idea is to focus on getting all of the nutrients you need. If we're concentrating on protein, then we're not concentrating on fiber, or we're not concentrating on whole grains, and we're not concentrating on veggies. And that scares me as a dietitian because we need fiber to reduce our cholesterol, it pulls it out. And we also need fiber to lower our dirty estrogen. So fiber essentially becomes a way to feed our microbiome system, and it's coming from fruits and veggies, beans, legumes, and starches. It's not coming from meat sources. If you are concentrating on protein and thinking that you need to eat more chicken, we don't have room to store it. So if we eat it, it gets converted to fat. So it's not that I want you to even be worrying about, am I getting enough protein? I bet you already are. But are you concentrating on having balance? If you're concentrating on just having an egg for breakfast because that's giving you protein, you're missing out on adding spinach or arugula or onion or mushroom or tomatoes. Please keep in mind or switch your mindset from protein, protein, protein to balance. This is really, really important to get all the vitamins and minerals, especially if you're on a GLP-1 or a weight loss medication that is already lowering your appetite. As far as like my 6 simple rules, I'm always asking you to start with half. So it's very similar to these medications where you're not having big portions anymore and you're limiting. And in that limit, then you're also limiting the amount of nutrients you can get. And our body needs like a full spectrum. It needs all of them to maintain our cellular health, right? And the idea is to be able to lose weight, but more importantly, keep it off and to make sure that we're focused on our health span. So health span is like the moment our body starts becoming diseased or inflamed and sick, and it lowers the amount of time in our life that we're well. And so having a balanced diet maintains your health span in addition to you actually feeling more satisfied when you eat. Okay, you guys, is there anybody that has any other questions? I hope this was helpful for you. Protein's important, but it's only one of 6 nutrients, and we need everything. Okay, have a great day, guys.